Hey everyone, Marcel here. Y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. Today, you are gonna do one of my most favorite things to do in the kitchen. You're gonna make some homemade jam with me. Making homemade jam is just one of the most satisfying, fun things for me to do in the kitchen, and it's something I haven't been doing a lot of in the last few years. And so one of my New Year's resolutions was to do more of the things that bring me joy. And so we're starting off this year with some homemade jam. Not just any jam, we're gonna make this really delicious triple berry jam. Okay, now I do start this recipe with frozen fruit most often. Sometimes I get fresh berries during the summer when they're at a really good price. But we are going to do the recipe today with frozen fruit, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this so that you can do it successfully, at home. It can be a little tricky to make jam from frozen fruit, but like I said, I'm going to do step-by-step instructions with you guys, and it's a very exciting and fun process. So let's get started. Okay, y'all, so here are the very simple ingredients, all that's needed to make a delicious triple berry jam. Okay, now, I do use a little bit of a shortcut that makes this easier. I have 3 berries in this bowl. I have blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries, and this little shortcut using frozen fruit, especially this triple berry blend from Walmart. It's a 3-pound bag. This is what I've used for a long time to make this jam. It really is a great convenience and a little bit more economical than buying 3 tubs of fresh fruit. But the thing is, okay, the fruit needs to be almost completely thawed. So it does take a little bit of time. This particular bag of fruit has been thawing for about 2 hours in this colander. The water, okay, is draining out on paper towels. I've had to change them out a few times. You do not want to try to make jam with solidly frozen fruit, okay? The water content will jack with your jam consistency big time, okay? So anytime you're using frozen fruit to make jams, fruit butters, anything like that, let them thaw and drain and reduce some of that water content. All right, so that being said, that's where we are with the fruit. You need 3 cups of sugar, which we're gonna separate, and I will tell you how and why here shortly. And then a little later on in the cooking process, we're gonna cut all this delicious sweetness with a little bit of acidity, okay? This is a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So, all right, we are gonna take our mostly defrosted fruit and move it to our Dutch oven now. And then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna get started. All right, so we've got our, defrosted fruit situated here in our Dutch oven. So now next step is just a little bit more wait time because we're gonna draw these delicious juices out of the fruit. Okay, so all the fruit, here goes 1 cup of sugar, and I'm gonna go ahead and put another 1/2 cup as well. All right, so we're gonna let the fruit sit with this 1.5 cups of sugar for about another hour, okay? And when we come back to check on it, we should see a whole lot of fruit juices that have been pulled out from the fruit and pooled up at the bottom. And that's gonna be the basis of our delicious sugar syrup in this jam. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and cover this pot up, and I'll check back with you guys. Let you see what's going on in here in this pot of fruit in about an hour. Okay, so let's have a look at the fruit. It's been sitting for about an hour. Oh yeah, we've got lots of good juices going there. And so we're gonna go ahead and get it onto the heat. But first things first, we're gonna put the other 1.5 cups of sugar in. And give it a stir. All right, so that is looking good. It smells good, and it's so sweet and delicious. I've got my heat going here, a medium heat, just slightly over medium heat. We're gonna get this pot to a boil. Okay, y'all, so I've got a perfect little boil going on here in this pot with the fruit. I'm gonna turn the heat down now to medium, and we are gonna keep this at just a low simmer for 20 minutes. In fact, I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes, and then just keep an eye on it, give it a little stir every once in a while, and then in 20 minutes, we're gonna mash up this fruit. Okay, y'all, so my triple berry jam mixture here has been bubbling away for 20 minutes, and it's looking great. My whole house just smells just heavenly, you guys. So you can still see it's got a lot of liquid going on in here. We are gonna mash up the fruit really quickly. I'm gonna move it to the burner that is not hot to do this. I'm gonna move you guys too. All right, so now we're just gonna take our little potato masher here and carefully mash up this fruit. In just a little bit, just mashing it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, like a puree or anything, but just to kind of get it started. Okay, y'all, so after our second leg of simmering, this jam is already trying to thicken up all on its own, but we're gonna go ahead and add in the lemon juice. It is our final step to this recipe. And the lemon juice does two things. It cuts the sweetness with a little bit of acidity, which is a nice flavor contrast, but it also, the citric acid, activates the natural pectin in the berries even more, and they're about to really, really thicken up. All right, so that is just beautiful. So here I've got my mason jar, my wide mouth funnel. You guys, if you don't have a wide mouth funnel, I'm gonna put a link below so you can get one for yourself. It is an absolute game changer when you're canning things or just trying to store things in mason jars, because not only does it prevent spills and, you know, of course burns, but it always makes sure there's a beautiful even pour into the jars. I'm gonna show you right here. There's always a nice, even, neat pour into the mason jars, which is great. You spend a lot less time wiping down the sides. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna finish this up and I'm gonna show you the final yield from this recipe. This recipe always produces around 5 cups-ish of jam, and I store it in 2 16-ounce mason jars and 1 8-ounce mason jar that doesn't quite fill up, but it's always pretty close. So now I do just let this cool completely on a rack. I'm gonna put the lids on it, and once it's cool, I'll store it in the fridge. I don't bother canning it because we eat it up too fast. It's never an issue. So now I'm going to finish closing up these jars with the lids. Oh, and there is Tiger. You guys, he is my Great Dane mix puppy, and he always checks up on me. He wants to know exactly what I am doing. But all right, guys, we've got these jars sealed now. They're going to cool on this rack overnight, and we cannot wait to enjoy some of this jam with toast in the morning. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I just think this jam is scrumptious, and this easy triple berry jam is so good, slathered on buttered toasted bread of any kind. Okay, we eat it with bagels, biscuits. Should really try this with the homemade biscuit bread too. I'll put that recipe link down below for you too. But of course, you can take tablespoons of this, guys, sweeten up your yogurt or put it on vanilla ice cream. It's just absolutely scrumptious. And that berry flavor is so vibrant in this jam. It's just one of our favorite things at the moment. But I hope you give it a try. I hope you love it. I hope you come back and let me know how this recipe works out for you and how you're enjoying it for yourself at home. But thanks again for watching, guys. Thank you so much. Stay cool out there. Take care. I'll see you real soon in another brand new video.